Welcome to my channel Limelight Leaks. Please share and subscribe and hit the bell icon for new updates. At 61, Johnny Depp is no longer hiding. After getting kicked out of Pirates of the Caribbean, being hurt by his ex-wife, and getting sued by his own money managers, he's finally talking. How did a man worth $650 million end up broke, hated, and fighting for his life? He's finally ready to tell us. Chapter 1. He was hurt by the people he trusted most. For many years, Johnny Depp was known as one of Hollywood's weirdest stars. He wasn't like other movie stars. He played the strange characters, the weird ones, the people no one else wanted to play. From Edward Scissorhands to Captain Jack Sparrow, he loved being different. But behind all those costumes and crazy roles was a man who was really loyal to his friends. And it was that loyalty that would cost him everything. Not just from Hollywood, not just from his marriage, but from the people he trusted most, and what he tells us changes everything we thought we knew. At the middle of it all was his marriage to actress Amber Heard. They got married in 2015, but by May 2016, Heard asked for a divorce and got a court order saying he hurt her. Depp said, "That wasn't true. The magazines went crazy. Pictures were on every magazine cover." Depp later said in court, "It's been 6 years of trying to tell the truth, but no one was listening before a single court decision he'd already lost." In 2018, Heard wrote an article in the Washington Post. She said she was a victim of being hurt at home without saying Depp's name, but the damage was done. Within days, Disney quietly fired Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean. He wasn't even allowed to say goodbye to Jack Sparrow. Movie studios stayed away. People made fun of him. Photographers followed him everywhere. His court case became internet jokes. His sadness became funny stories. But Amber wasn't the only person who hurt him. That same year, Depp found out something even worse. The people taking care of his money had been secretly stealing it for years. The management group, his longtime business managers, had supposedly wasted $650 million. Depp was shocked. "I trusted them to protect me. They left me with nothing." He told Rolling Stone magazine he sued them for stealing. They sued him back. Court papers showed Depp had been paying taxes late, covering loans he never agreed to. He gave receipts to the IRS as proof. The fight went on until 2018, ending in a private deal, but the money was gone. The hurt feeling stayed. And while the court fights kept going, something else hurt even more. The phone stopped ringing. The same people who once stood next to him at movie premieres, who raised glasses with him at award shows, now stayed quiet. Same people who laughed with me at premieres stopped answering the phone, Depp told GQ magazine. Only a few stayed. Tim Burton, Helena Bonham Carter, a few loyal friends. Even deeper, there was an older hurt. Depp rarely talks about it. But his father left the family when Johnny was 15. The chaos at home, the fights, the mess, it shaped him. He got Betty Sue tattooed on his arm to honor his mother. But the scars of being left ran deeper than ink. He had trusted. He had been loyal, and they left. But if you thought being hurt by friends was painful, wait until the entire movie business turned its back on him. Chapter 2. Hollywood fired him without saying a word. Johnny Depp had survived being hurt by friends, managers, and a marriage that ended in newspaper headlines. But nothing prepared him for being hurt by the very system that had made him famous, Hollywood itself. And it started with a phone call that never came. In 2018, days after Amber Heard's Washington Post article went online, Disney cut ties with Johnny Depp. No press statement, no meeting. He wasn't even asked to talk. Depp later said, "They didn't even let me say goodbye to Jack." After 5 movies, $4.5 billion earned worldwide, and an Oscar nomination, he was quietly fired from Pirates of the Caribbean 6. The man who was Captain Jack Sparrow didn't even get to say farewell. The silence from Disney wasn't the only silence. Other movie studios followed. Projects stopped. Rumors spread. Suddenly, he wasn't just an actor without work. He was dangerous to hire. "They said I was guilty before they ever heard me," Depp told the Guardian newspaper. Insurance companies refused to protect movies if he was in them. Producers quietly took his name off contracts. He became, as people whispered, unable to be hired. But the hurt wasn't just behind closed doors. It was spread across headlines. One magazine ran the now famous story. Johnny Depp was spending $30,000 a month on wine. It became a joke on late-night TV shows. Depp's response, "That's insulting." It was much more. But the full story was gone. Every news story painted him as washed up, unstable, a fading star, holding on to being weird. His donations, like the $2 million he gave to Great Ormond Street Hospital after they saved his daughter's life, were barely mentioned. His private acts of kindness never made the front page. The movie roles disappeared too. In 2020, after losing a UK court case against the Sun newspaper, Warner Brothers asked him to quit Fantastic Beasts. He agreed. He had filmed just one scene. They said they needed to protect the movie series, Depp explained. But what about protecting the man who had helped build it, and behind every headline? Another hurt waited. Old accusations came back. Actress Lola Glaudini described a moment on the Blow movie set where she said Depp verbally embarrassed her. Though she'd told the story before, news outlets brought it back, making it part of a news story of Depp's supposed instability. Then came the City of Lies lawsuit where a crew member said Depp punched him on set. Depp said that wasn't true, but public opinion barely changed. Every accusation mixed into the next. Each headline took away what was left. "You're only as loyal as your last successful movie," Depp once said in an interview. He had seen it happen to others. He never imagined it would happen to him. Hollywood had turned its back. Studios stopped calling. The red carpet stopped rolling. The invitations disappeared. But if the industry hurt him, who stayed loyal? Who stood beside Johnny when no one else would? Chapter 3. A few friends never walked away. Not everyone left Johnny Depp. While Hollywood shut its doors, a few special people stayed in his corner. Quietly, strongly, and without asking for attention. And their loyalty wasn't fake. It was real. One of the strongest friendships in Depp's life was with Hunter S. Thompson. Depp wasn't just Thompson's friend. He was his helper with writing, drinking buddy, and chosen family. When Thompson died in 2005, he left an unusual request. He wanted his ashes shot out of a 150 FT cannon over his ranch in Woody Creek, Colorado. Depp didn't hesitate. He spent over $3 million to design a giant cannon shaped like Thompson's famous Gonzo fist logo, complete with fireworks. Hunter said, "I want to go out with a bang, so I gave him one," Depp told reporters standing under the towering cannon the night it launched. It wasn't just a goodbye, it was a monument to loyalty. But Depp's mentors weren't only wild men with typewriters. Marlon Brando had once taken Depp under his wing, calling him one of the greats of his generation. Brando wasn't just impressed by Depp's acting, he warned him about the industry's dark side. "Don't let them define you in the press," Brando told him, "because once they do, they'll never let go." Depp carried that advice into every weird role, every press fight. He learned not to chase Hollywood's love because he saw how quickly it turned. And no one believed in Depp's weirdness more than Tim Burton. When Depp left 21 Jump Street, he desperately wanted to shake off his teen heartthrob image. Studios didn't see him as an actor. They saw him as a pretty face. Then came Burton. Their first work together, Edward Scissorhands, wasn't just a hit. It was a creative rebirth. They worked together 8 times over the next 20 years. "Tim believed in me when no one else did," Depp said. Burton gave him worlds to disappear into. And alongside Burton stood Helena Bonham Carter, another loyal friend, who stayed through every scandal, premiere, and dark headline. Then there was Nicolas Cage, the unlikely hero of Depp's beginning story. When Depp was a broke musician in Los Angeles, sleeping on friends' couches, it was Cage who introduced him to an agent. That agent got him his first audition. "I owe Nick my career," Depp said simply. Without Cage's push, there might have never been an Elm Street or a Jack Sparrow. But the loyalty that mattered most came from his own family. Despite their breakup, Vanessa Paradis defended Depp when the world turned against him. She made a public statement saying he had never been violent. And their children, Lily Rose and Jack, remained his anchor. Depp tattooed Jack's name on his arm and wears a beaded bracelet Lily Rose made him. Quiet symbols of a bond the magazines couldn't touch. Because while betrayals piled up, money, friends, studios, these people never left. Their loyalty wasn't loud. It wasn't viral. It simply stayed. But even as a few friends remained loyal, a darker hurt had already been planted inside his own. Chapter 4. The marriage that destroyed his life. Johnny Depp once said he was a romantic at heart, but love for him would come with the highest cost of all. It started simply enough. Depp met Amber Heard in Puerto Rico, making the movie The Rum Diary. She was young, magnetic, and ambitious. By 2015, they were married in a small ceremony on his private island. To the world, it looked like a fast romance. But behind closed doors, the cracks had already begun, and no one outside the walls of their home knew just how dark it would get. In May 2016, Heard walked into a Los Angeles court asking for a restraining order. Photos of bruises appeared on front pages within hours. Headlines screamed, "Johnny Depp, wife beater." Depp stayed quiet, watching his name dissolve in real time. I lost everything overnight, he later told the court. The world picked sides before a trial even began. Studios stayed away, friends stayed quiet, and Disney, they cut him loose. It wasn't just his marriage falling apart. It was his career. In December 2018, Heard published an article in the Washington Post, making herself look like a public figure representing domestic abuse. She never named Depp, but everyone knew who she meant. Within days, Disney officially fired him from Pirates of the Caribbean 6. He lost other roles. Insurance companies blacklisted him. They didn't wait for a judge. Depp said, "They said I was guilty from a headline, so he fought back." Depp filed a $50 million lawsuit against Heard. She countered for $100 million. And in 2022, the trial that captured the world began. But what happened inside that Virginia courtroom shocked even his supporters. Depp claimed he had been the victim of violence. Recordings played in court. Heard's voice admitting to hitting him. Photos showed his injuries. Witnesses disagreed with her story, and one bombshell cut through the noise. Heard had promised to donate her $7 million divorce settlement to charity, but the court found she hadn't. Social media exploded. Her justice for Johnny Depp trended for months. Heard's supporters rallied with the hashtag #IBelieveAmber. Meme. After meme went viral, the courtroom became a show, streamed to millions daily. And through it all, Depp sat quietly at the plaintiff's table, drawing doodles, sipping from a silver cup, his future hanging in the balance. When he finally took the stand, he didn't lash out. He didn't blame the world. He simply spoke his truth. No matter the outcome, he told the jury, "I already lost." That line echoed across headlines, fan accounts, late-night shows, because even if he won the verdict, Depp had lost years, lost work, lost friends, lost the role of a lifetime. And yet he kept showing up in court every day, suit pressed, hair tied back, ring still on his finger. Because even with everything crumbling, he hadn't betrayed himself. Not yet. But what no one realized was that Depp's final battle wouldn't be against Hollywood or Amber or the press. It would be a battle against the man in the mirror. Chapter 5. He won everything back at 61. When the jury read the verdict in June 2022, Johnny Depp wasn't in the courtroom. He was playing guitar in England, far from the cameras, far from the noise. But when the news reached him, the message was clear. The world was listening again. The jury awarded Depp $15 million. For him, it wasn't about the money. It was about getting back the story that had been taken from him. He released a statement to his fans that went viral across the globe. "The jury gave me my life back." Suddenly, headlines flipped. The same outlets that once called him washed up were now calling him redeemed. Supporters flooded social media. Even those who hadn't followed the trial were re-watching old interviews, old films, seeing Johnny Depp with new eyes. But for Depp, the victory wasn't the end. It was the start of something entirely different. Just months later, Depp appeared at the Cannes Film Festival for Jean du Barry, his first major film since the trial. As the credits rolled, something unprecedented happened. The audience rose to their feet and clapped, not for a minute, not for 2, but for 7 straight minutes. Depp stood there visibly emotional, trying to hold back tears. "I don't need Hollywood anymore," he later told reporters. And he meant it, because while some doors remained closed, others opened wider than ever. Dior renewed his fragrance contract with a record-breaking $20 million deal, the largest ever for a men's fragrance. He was no longer chasing studios. Studios were coming back to him, and instead of racing back into blockbuster films, Depp picked up his guitar. He went on tour with his band Hollywood Vampires, playing sold-out shows across Europe and America. On stage, he wasn't Jack Sparrow or Edward Scissorhands. He wasn't Captain Weird or the Mad Hatter. He was just Johnny behind a guitar, laughing with friends, the crowd chanting his name. Each performance felt like a personal statement. "I'm still here. I never left." At 61, Depp isn't shy about what he's survived. He doesn't hide the scars. In a rare interview after Cannes, he reflected on everything that had happened. "I've been through the fire. Now I see who really stood by me." And as he spoke those words, fans online put together the moments. Jack Sparrow saluting from a pirate ship. Edward Scissorhands looking longingly out a window. Depp walking alone on his private island, the ocean stretching endlessly beyond. A man who had lost almost everything but walked through it, head high, heart intact. In his own words, "The philosophy hasn't changed. I don't pretend to be Captain Weird. I just do what I do." That's the thing about Johnny Depp. Love him, hate him, debate him. He was never trying to fit anyone's mold. He wasn't playing by the rules, and maybe that's why they tried to write him off. But what they forgot is that the story's never over until the credits roll, and for Johnny Depp the credits haven't rolled yet.